On September 5th, the world was hit hard by the sudden news of Rich Homie Quan's passing. But now, new footage of his overdose has dropped, and it's got everyone talking. In this video, we're breaking down what really went down that day and how Quan's life spiraled into tragedy. Stick around because what this footage reveals is wilder than you can imagine. Rich Homie Quan, known for his chart-topping hits and signature flow, left fans and family devastated after his sudden passing at just 34 years old. The events leading up to his tragic death began with a frantic 911 call from his girlfriend, a call that has now surfaced online. "I need an ambulance," she pleaded. On the morning of September 5th, Rich Homie Quan's girlfriend woke up to find him lying on the couch asleep. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Quan had fallen asleep there the night before, and she assumed he was just resting. In a tender moment, she even covered him with a blanket to keep him warm before leaving the house to drop their son off at school. But when she returned later that morning, everything changed. Upon walking back into the living room, she realized something was terribly wrong. Quan hadn't moved from the spot, and this time there was no sign of breathing. Panicking, she rushed over and tried to wake him, gently shaking his shoulder, but something was off. There was no response, no movement. Desperate, she turned him over, and the sight that greeted her was shocking. "I turned him over. I see he kind of foamed at the mouth," she said. "I don't see him breathing." Heartbroken and terrified, she made the call to 911. The operator guided her through steps to help Quan, instructing her to lay him flat on his back. But as the moments ticked by, the grim reality began to set in. Paramedics arrived soon after, but it was too late. Rich Homie Quan was pronounced dead in his home, leaving behind a grieving family and a stunned fan base. Social media exploded with tributes and raw grief. "Life really cheated Rich Homie," one fan wrote. "He was so talented and deserved to be much further in the music industry." RIP. Another fan added, "RIP to one of the most underrated. He kept grinding even after the hype died down. Always respected Quan for real." This one hurts. While no official cause of death was initially released, the internet buzzed with speculation. The most common theory was that Quan had died of an overdose. This rumor gained serious traction when rapper Boozy Badass seemingly confirmed it in a tweet. "Just got word Rich Homie Quantity. Just talked to him the other day." Boozy's tweet sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. Fans immediately flooded the comments, with one writing, "Damn Boozy, are you confirming this? No way." The fact that Boozy spoke on it carried significant weight. He and Rich Homie Quan weren't just collaborators, their history ran deep. They teamed up on tracks that hit hard in the hip-hop scene, with one of their biggest collaborations being Like a Man back in 2014. Their bond was built on shared struggles, and their music reflected that. Word on the streets also started spreading that Quan may have taken a bad pill. Close family and friends hinted at it, and sources suggested he might have unknowingly ingested counterfeit Percocet laced with fentanyl, a deadly mix that's become all too common. These fake pills, designed to look just like the real thing, have been flooding the streets. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid up to 100 times more potent than heroin, is no joke. It only takes a tiny amount to be fatal, and according to the D, 6 out of 10 fentanyl-laced pills found on the streets contain a lethal dose. This crisis has only grown in recent years, and it seems Quan may have been its latest victim. While nothing official has been confirmed, the possibility of an overdose isn't far-fetched. Quan had been open about his struggles with addiction in the past. One moment that stands out is when he appeared on the My Expert Opinion show, where he got real about his struggles. "Was it drugs involved?" the host asked. "Oh hell yeah, man," Quan responded. "I was on Molly every day. I felt like I couldn't do a show or a song without being on it." During that interview, Quan broke down how his addiction began. It started when he was touring heavily, performing across the globe. The constant grind, long nights, and pressure got to him. A friend suggested something to keep him up during shows, and soon enough, Molly became a daily habit. The addiction started creeping into every part of his life. "I was taking Molly almost every day, man," Quan admitted. "And I knew my attitude was changing. I was bucking on my mom, not showing up to family events." As the addiction took hold, Quan's life began to unravel. The once vibrant and energetic performer was now a shadow of his former self, consumed by the need for his next fix. At his lowest point, Quan relied on drugs just to make it through each day, even taking Molly the moment he woke up. "I'd brush my teeth, then pop a Molly," he recalled. "That's how I was starting my day." One of the major turning points for Quan came from a heartfelt conversation with his mother. Her concern and love broke through the haze of his addiction, waking him up to the seriousness of his situation. At the time of that interview, rich homie Quan had been clean for 5 years. He worked hard to break free from addiction, but in the end, it seems the demons he fought so hard to escape caught up with him. Following his death, not just Boozy, but other rappers took to social media to pour out heartfelt tributes. Quavo, who shared a deep connection with Quan from their early days in Atlanta's hip-hop scene, posted a heartfelt message on his Instagram story. Quavo and Quan often collaborated in the studio alongside artists like Young Thug. Their relationship was built on mutual respect, and Quan's sudden passing hit Quavo hard. Quavo posted a photo of them together, writing, "May God be with us. Never saw this being a part of our journey." Playboy Carti also honored Quan, sharing several photos and videos of him to his Instagram stories. Though they didn't collaborate much, Carti's respect for Quan's artistry was clear. G-Keys, who had a much more personal bond with Quan, tweeted, "Rest in peace, my brother rich homie Quan. I love you for life." G-Keys and Quan were both part of Rich Gang, a collective that included Young Thug and Birdman. They gained recognition for hits like Lifestyle, and their bond was more than just professional. Rich homie Quan's sudden death shocked everyone, but some fans think he may have left subtle hints beforehand. In the days leading up to his passing, he posted a cryptic message on Instagram writing, "Vision clear even through the BS." Fans speculated if he was teasing new music or if there was something more to it. Quan's life was filled with ups and downs. Raised in East Atlanta, Georgia, his early life was far from easy. The oldest of 3 siblings, Quan's parents split up early in his life, leaving his mother to raise him. Despite the challenges, she instilled resilience in him. However, the streets of East Atlanta had their own influence. As a teenager, Quan began drifting towards a life of crime, breaking into homes and businesses. Eventually, he was arrested and spent months in jail for robbery. After his release, Quan was more driven than ever to make his mark in music. But even after his rough stint in jail, trouble seemed to follow him. In 2017, he was arrested with drugs and a stolen firearm, though the case was later dismissed due to lack of evidence. Through it all, rich homie Quan's life was a chaotic mix of success and struggle. His sudden death is a tragic reminder of the toll addiction can take, even on those who seem to have overcome it. Though he's gone, one thing's for sure: his legacy in the game is here to stay, and his impact on hip-hop will never fade. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.